All right, so how's everybody doing out there? It's your boy Big Gotti. Thank y'all for tuning in with me on another one. Now, today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the NBA to determine if it's rigged or not. Now, I read a lot of comments and I also hear a lot of fans saying that the NBA has been rigged for years. Now, back when the organization started in the 1949 to the 1950 season, everyone was pretty much on an equal playing field, so there was no reason to try to gain an unfair advantage. Now, as the sport went on and got more popular, it got quicker and people looked for different ways to cheat. In comes the shoe companies. Now, the shoe companies try to create different types of shoes to make you run faster, jump higher, but eventually the NBA caught wind of this and they banned those shoes, which led players to try to find different ways to cheat again. Now, after all the shoe bans, players then started to look for alternative methods to gain unfair advantages in the games. In comes the PEDs. Now, once the NBA caught wind of PEDs, they started having players take urine tests, which pretty much cut it down. Now, these days, it's not so much the players that cheat in the organization, it's the organization itself. By using referees, they extend plays, get longer TV time, and also give players free penalty shots to win games.
NBA referees are supposed to be neutral. No bias, no agenda, just call the game straight. But one referee has become impossible to ignore. His name is Scott Foster, widely known around the league as the Extender. Over the years, he's built a reputation for controversial whistles, the kind that just happen to stretch playoff series, protect certain stars, etc., etc.
Nowhere is this more evident than in the last playoffs that we just watched with OKC versus the Indiana Pacers. You see, Scott Foster is a referee that's been criticized for years for calling bad plays. Not only that, you could tell that he is trying to extend the game and give players unfair advantages over other players. You see that nowhere more evident than these plays.
In the second quarter, he hits Obi Toppin with a flagrant foul. Now, from every angle, it looked like a hard playoff foul. That's it. Nothing dirty, nothing crazy. Even the commentators didn't think it was going to be a flagrant.
Well, we all agreed with Steve Javie, and we don't agree with Scott Foster.
SGA was untouchable. Every whistle went his way.
One of the most notable referees for doing this is Tim Donaghy. Now, he got investigated by the FBI in 2007 for sports betting on games that he was refereeing and basically calling bad calls so that he could make sure that the other team won. Now, when you watch how the NBA operates these days, I wouldn't say that Scott Foster is doing the same thing. What I will say Scott Foster is doing is calling plays in the NBA to make the superstars look better than what they are.
A bad shot by SGA where he got bailed by the whistle. There was barely any contact, marginal at best, but it sealed the game. That's 5 for 5. Every time Scott Foster was involved in an OKC game this postseason, they won. 5 for 5.
The NBA has realized a long time ago that they're in the business of ratings, so to extend the game to Game 7 and get that extra ad revenue is big for them.
Tim Donaghy, the former NBA referee who went to prison for betting on games, said something that makes a lot of sense. NBA referees understood it was in their best interest to protect the league's stars. Players like Kobe, LeBron, and Shaq were rarely called for fouls because fans paid top dollar to see them on the court, not sitting on the bench. Referees who followed this unwritten rule were rewarded with playoff games, bigger paychecks, and more respect. Favoritism wasn't just accepted, it was incentivized. The NBA keeps things just shady enough to boost ratings, but not so shady that it looks rigged. Refs know the balance they have to maintain. And the result? A more entertaining product.
Now, OKC against the Indiana Pacers is just a small example of what's been going on for a long time. You see, Scott Foster has been doing this to a lot of players, and it's been exposed a lot of times, but no one wants to take it serious. All I know is this: betting on the NBA at this point is not smart. If Scott Foster's on the floor, you're guaranteed to lose your money if you're going against the team that he wants to win. But y'all let me know what you think about this, and to the next one, y'all stay safe out there. God bless.